Welcome, yogis. We're going to get started with a flow that's meant to boost energy. So a good one if you are feeling a little sluggish in your body or your mind. We'll work on some creative movements and transitions to help focus our attention and give us a little bit of an uplift. Let's start in our backs. And to start, just bringing the feet wide so the knees can rest in against one another. We'll place one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Allow your eyes to close. Feel the back of the head soften into the mat, into the ground. And just tuning into breath. Always our start. Tuning into the flow of breath and using that as a path in to feel more awareness of the energy that you're starting with right now. And using that awareness to help us fine-tune, to really manage our energy. If you decide that you need more of a boost, really embracing that. Or if you decide that you need some grounding, there's always a way to approach the practice in a way that serves you best. Just taking a couple more breaths here on our backs. Feeling first the belly rise as you inhale and then pulling it up into the heart space. So it's like a two-part inhale. And exhale, both of your hands soften down as the breath goes out, deflating both places. Do that a couple more times, inhaling first into the belly, then into the heart. Long, soft exhale. One more, fill up belly and then chest. And release the breath, release all tension. Keep the feet where they are. As you open your eyes, let both knees drop over to the right. You can reach your arms out wide in both directions. And then both knees swing over to the left. So this is just our windscreen wiper action for the knees. A nice way to start by rinsing through any tension you might be carrying around the hips and the low back. Letting the hips rock side to side. And the knees come back to center. We're gonna float the knees to tabletop on our backs. Just lining up the knees right above your hips. And then let the low back press into the mat. So it's gonna start to wake up some core awareness to keep minimal space from behind your back, letting the shins drop parallel to the ground. And then with the arms, we're gonna find an eagle wrap. We'll bring the right elbow on top of the left. And then see if you can bring the backs of the hands or the palms to face in against one another. And if that's not working today, you can do the same thing just by dropping your hands to the tops of the shoulders, just having that cross of the elbows. Maintaining your tabletop position. Now let's start to reach the fingertips back overhead. Just seeing what we get into around the shoulders in terms of sensation. Finding breath. So keeping that awareness, that strength around your center, to not disturb anything around the belly, the hips, the legs, but to keep reaching the arms overhead and breathing all the way around the space of your shoulders. And then slowly drawing the elbows back over the chest. Let's unwind that for a moment, open wide, and then switching the cross. Opposite arm on top as you find your wrap. And again, that could just be resting hands to tops of the shoulders or maybe that full palm to palm. Integrate again into your center, maintaining that shape of tabletop, and then starting to arc the hands back overhead. I've got really long arms, so my fingertips almost touch down. If that's not happening for you, don't worry about it. Finding equal parts, strength and softness. For 2 more breaths. And then slowly pulling your arms back overhead, opening up really nice and wide. Let's squeeze the inner knees close together and let the legs drop over to the right. Just taking one more brief twist on our backs. Let the left shoulder drop. And then inhale, knees through center. Let them drop over to the left as your right shoulder stays rooting down as best you can. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves up to a tabletop position. take a brief moment in child's pose, maybe just a couple breaths here. As you slide your hips back toward the heels, melting the heart down, finding more reach through the arms. Let your breath move more side to side, so we really start to wake up the capacity of the breath to move in all directions. Then we'll slowly pull ourselves up to tabletop position. And taking a moment maybe just to find some small movements, letting the hips wag side to side. If you'd like to take a cat or a cow stretch. Let's tuck the toes. And when you're ready, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Hips drawing up nice and high, letting the press come beneath your hands and your fingertips especially. Lengthening the spine, starting to feel the chest press back in space. Let the neck be nice and long. Gaze going back between your feet. Breathe out, feel the heels drop just a touch more. When you inhale, start to send the knees back down toward the ground, but we're not going to touch them all the way down. Almost. Keep a little bit of space. So again, that core awareness to find the shape, to find the flat back. And then send the hips up and back again, your down dog. Inhale, drawing forward again into tabletop, almost touching the knees down. There's just the tiniest little bit of space beneath your knees. Press into the hands, pull the hips high, down dog. Back into our three-leg dog, the right heel lifts up now. Finding those longer lines through your legs. And then as you look forward, just lightly stepping the right foot between your hands, coming into simple lunge. Same thing, maybe a couple of breaths, just to rock around a little bit, see where you land. An opportunity here to get a little bit of dynamic movement so you can stay exactly as you are, or perching yourself up on fingertips, or maybe even blocks so you've got some space. You're gonna swap out your feet with a little mini hop and jump switch. So your left foot comes forward. And then one more time to get back where we started, right foot forward. Nice work. Shift all your weight into your right foot. We can spring up the left toes, come to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, all breath goes out, forward fold. Let's bend the knees a lot. Feel the drop, the hang of your arms, the drop and hang of your head. Strongly radiating down through your feet as we roll our way back up to a standing position. A big roll back of your shoulders, feeling the palms face forward, just finding that alignment where we breathe best. The energy, the prana flowing optimally. That alone can help us find that energetic boost. Exhale, soften the shoulders down. Let's inhale, feel the uplift of your breath coming in. Reach for the sky, open the eyes. Exhale, bowing into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, we step the feet back into plank position. Maybe the knees come down to support you. Find Chaturanga, bending your elbows. Inhaling into Cobra or upward facing dog. And drawing the hips high, downward facing dog. Feeling the action of your hands pressing down to find more reach up and back through your sit bones. Lift now into our three-leg dog. Left leg goes to the sky. Step the left foot forward between your hands. Simple lunge, allow the hips to sink down a little. You can maybe rock side to side, front to back. And then you can stay right here, or maybe take a couple of those hops. Really feel like you're lifting from your center to create this space to jump. Right foot forward, and then left. Light landing. Step the right foot up to meet the left, halfway lift. Exhale, all breath goes out. Finding the roots beneath your feet grow tall through the arms, maybe even arch back a little. Hands come to heart center. Breathe in, find length. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, let's stay connected to breath. Stepping back, pause for a moment in your plank. Get light with an inhale. And exhale with control, lowering down closer to the ground, maybe touching down. Tops of the feet press to find cobra or up dog. And then all the way back, downward facing dog. Let's reach the right leg high, finding our way into three-leg dog again. Right foot stepping forward. And this time, coming up into high lunge. Arms reaching up toward the sky, palms facing in. Let your tailbone lengthen down. Spin the palms to face forward, reach high through the fingertips, and then as you exhale, bending the elbows, finding your cactus arms, and feeling that uplift right from the center of your chest. Drawing your attention, your energy up, get the boost. Breathe in, lengthen, upright again. And this time as you breathe out, we're gonna turn. The right arm reaches back, the left arm reaches forward. So now you'll be facing the right side. And then let that right arm drop down. Left arm goes to the sky. Maybe your right hand to the back of your left thigh. If you connect it, feel the back of your left thigh lift into your right hand. Reach up through your left fingertips. Let me bring the left hand down to the floor, the right arm to the sky for your low twist. Find that vertical lineup of the arms. Like you're reaching for something with your right hand, so we're not just dumping all our weight into the left. And then you can stay right here, or we might transition. Right foot slides to stack back on top of the left to find side plank. That little lift from beneath your bottom, underneath hip. Nice and slow, rotate back to plank pose and back through a vinyasa, or you might skip the vinyasa and meet us straight away in downward facing dog. Deep breath exchange in and out. Left leg reaches high up and back. Nice and light left foot between your hands. Inhale, drawing ourselves upright, high lunge. Find your steady base. And then let's start to bend the elbows, leaning back, opening up the chest. Sending the gaze upwards. Looking up toward the light and feeling a lightening up through your whole body. Coming back up, tall place, arms to the sky. And then now turning to face the left, so the right arm goes forward, left arm reaches back. From there, let the left arm hang, right arm to the sky, maybe connecting left hand to the back of your right thigh. Press the back of your right thigh into your hand. Keep going up through the right fingertips. Right hand to the mat. Low twist, now the left arm goes to the sky. And you stay there, or you step the left foot back to find your version of side plank. Find a lift from underneath, lifting the right hip up away from the ground. And then slowly bring the left hand to the mat, plank pose. Exhale as you lower toward the ground. Inhale, sliding the heart forward. And exhale, pulling hips back, taking a deep breath. Nice, yogis. Once more through those. Let's get a little closer to one breath per movement. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, stepping forward. Use the inhale, coming upright. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, find reach. Exhale, turn, right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, left arm up, right hand drops to the back of the left thigh. And then touching the left hand down, right arm to the sky. Keep it there, or step the right foot back, side plank. And we'll add on, keep it there, or step the right foot behind you, boost the hips up on wild thing, right arm reaches back overhead. Coming back around, pausing, deciding how you're gonna get to down dog. Do it mindfully. Finding a deep exchange of breath. Inhale and exhale. One more time through. Let's feel breath lead the way. Inhale, left heel high. Exhale, left foot between the hands. When you inhale, the breath helps lift you up. Find your high lunge. Exhale, lay it back, cactus through the arms. Inhale, reach high again. Exhale, turn, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, tilt back now, right arm to the sky, left hand back of your right thigh. And then dropping the right hand so you can find that low twist. And you can stay right here, or we've got options to move on. Left foot steps back, side plank. Or you might step the left foot behind your right leg now, boost hips, sweep the left arm back, wild thing. Left arm comes back around, taking a moment, decide, guide, using breath, back to downward facing dog. Full breath in and out. Let's take a moment in child's pose, dropping the knees down, sending the hips back. And in this place, just taking a moment, check in, feeling the heartbeat, feeling the breath, feeling more energy circulating through your body. And slowly pulling ourselves back up through dog. And stepping or hopping the feet to the hands. Halfway lift. Take this opportunity to really lengthen through all four sides, front, back, side to side. Big exhale as we forward fold, draping the upper body over the legs. Slowly, gradually rolling our way back up to a standing position. Roll the shoulders back, align yourself, close the eyes, and sense there's been an awakening, a rejuvenating from the inside out. Let's work into some balancing. So we'll let the left leg be the standing leg, crossing your right ankle on top of your left knee. Let the outer right knee fall back and down, and we'll start to bend into the standing knee. So this is our pigeon leg. We're gonna mix our birds. So pigeon from the waist down. And then in the arms, left elbow on top of right. So once again, finding your eagle wrap. So that's what it looks like from the front. And then I'll turn. We wanna have some room behind us on our mats. So just making sure that you're setting up toward the top edge of your mat. Let the hips continue to sink back and down, and maybe start to slide the elbows just a little bit further away from you. We'll push down into the left foot. Rise to stand, let your right knee point straight ahead. And then nice and slow, step it back. We're gonna find the shape of warrior two in the legs. So left knee bending straight ahead. Heels more or less in one line with each other. Go up a little bit through your elbows. We've still got our eagle wrap. And then I want you to point your elbows toward that upper right corner of your mat. And with your fingertips, you're gonna slice through the air in that diagonal line and start to fold. As you do that, you're gonna go ahead and let your hips lean out to the left. So eventually we'll let the left shoulder nestle down inside of the left knee. But really important to keep your left knee pointing straight ahead, in line with your second toe. And then maybe your fingertips even start to gently rest to the ground. Let your head spill forward and keep pressing into both feet. Sending more breath into the left hip. One more. Let's unwind the arms and then turn your left toes to face that right side edge of your mat. We're gonna set up for a wide leg forward fold. Pressing down into the feet, lengthen your heart part way. And then as you exhale, letting the length of your spine drop forward and down. And we might walk the hands back in line with the feet, or maybe reach hands toward the outer ankles. Let the back of the neck be long. It might turn out that the crown of the head rests down toward the ground, but don't force it. Two more breaths here. Awesome, yogis. We press back up and then turn your left toes back where you started. So it's like our warrior two position. We're gonna bring the left elbow to the left thigh and the right arm to the sky. Now you're in your side angle. You can use your left elbow, just gently keep steering the left knee out to the left. Maybe we turn the right palm to face back behind us. Let that right arm drape behind so you're working toward your half bind. Or maybe working toward your full bind. The left arm can come beneath the left thigh. And we start to feel the heart lift up toward the sky, staying rooted in the feet. One more breath. And then slowly releasing hands inside of the left foot. So we'll roll the back heel to face up and wiggle your left foot more left. Letting ourselves soften the back knee down. Coming to pause in our setup for lizard pose. And doing some nice deep work around the hip. And let's bring the left hand to the top of the left knee. And as you give yourself a slight push down into your left thigh, let your chest open toward the left. Maybe gazing past the left shoulder. Coming back to center. Good. Let's feel that spring in our step again. So we're going to pick up the back knee. And as you push off your back toes, we're going to come down into a squat, into our malasana. Knees go wide. Your elbows are inside the knees, maybe gently encouraging them open a little bit more. Palms come together. Let the tailbone lengthen down and the heart lifts up. Breathing into the low back once more. And then we're going to let ourselves sit back, maybe with no hands. Finding that control to drop to your seat, lift, float the shins parallel to the ground. So we find our way into boat pose. Let the shoulders drop and feel a little more boost from behind your heart. Breathing in. Exhale, let's drop it low. Extend your legs, floating your heels and your shoulders. When we inhale, lifting up again. Good, let's get back to our feet. Build some of that momentum. Build the boost of energy to get you there. And the challenge is no hands. But if you need to place them down, go for it. Rising to stand. Hands come back to heart center. Stand on the right leg. Cross your left ankle on top of the right knee, finding your pigeon position on this side. Let the outer left knee fall back and down. We've got pigeon on the bottom, but eagle on top. Mixing our birds, right elbow on top of left. Finding your wrap. You're doing this at the top of your mat, facing forward so that you'll have some space to step back. Find that balance of hips sinking back, elbows, fingertips, leaning more forward away from your chest. As we release the shape, we'll push down into the right foot, point your left knee forward, and then take a wide step back. So you're in the shape of warrior two in your legs. Right knee pointing straight ahead, left toes at a little bit of an angle. Let the elbows lift slightly. And then line up your elbows to point toward that upper left corner of your mat. So as we come down, it's on this diagonal, slicing through the air with your fingers, letting your hips lean out to the right for this one. But keeping your right knee pointing straight ahead, maybe letting your right shoulder nestle right inside of your right knee. Fingertips dripping down toward the floor, head releasing down. Last breath here. Unwind your arms, walking your hands toward the center side of your mat. Pivot the toes so we're facing that left side of your mat. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out. Your wide leg forward fold. Find your feet. Maybe choosing to widen or to narrow the stance. Let's lean a little bit more weight over the toes. You can reach for the outer ankles, letting the head drop down in space, or perhaps it will rest. Hands coming back beneath your shoulders to come up part way. Good. If you went really wide with your feet, come back to where you started. And then we'll go back to warrior two position in the feet. So right toes point forward. Right elbow to right thigh. Now we're finding side angle. Left arm to the sky and overhead. Letting your right elbow encourage your right knee just a little bit more out to the right. It's probably going to want to collapse in toward your big toe. Go the other way. You can spin your palm to face back behind you and work toward your half bind. Let the left arm drape back behind you. Maybe left fingertips toward the right inner thigh. And if you're feeling it today, work for your full bind, the right arm threading beneath your right thigh so that the hands can meet. Let the heart continue to reach upwards. Staying strong when your legs press into your feet. Good work, yogis. Another breath. And as we unwind the arms, let's come into more of a lunge position. So the back heel comes up. Work your right foot more to the right. Landing the back knee into lizard pose. It can feel nice to add a little turn. So right hand to the right knee. And as you press down, let your heart open to the right. We're facing forward again. The right leg is really already in the place that we want it, so we're just gonna make the left leg match. Pick up your left knee, springing off your back toes, coming into your malasana squat, letting the hips sink down, finding some lift up through the crown of the head. We'll rock back, land your seat, float your shins, boat pose. Tap into your strength, but also find the softness of shoulders. Relaxing back and down. Let's go low, expand out, lengthen. Keeping the shoulders and the heels hovering. And then as you inhale, pulling back up. Start to find that energetic boost that's gonna propel you back to standing. So you can rock up and down the length of the spine, maybe with no hands. Find your standing position, your realignment at the top of the mat. Great job. Take a breath, close the eyes. Sense again the quality of your energy. What do you need more of? Breathe that in. Let's drop the arms as we open the eyes. Taking a vinyasa to get back to downward facing dog. Arms to the sky, maybe arching back. Exhale, spine as long as you fold. Spine is still long as you lift it up part way, stepping the feet back, high plank. Slowly lowering down into chaturanga, maybe with the support of your knees. Let's do a couple extra. Press back up to straight arms. Slowly bend the elbows. There's the energy boost of working hard. Press the ground away, coming back up. You can do this with knees on the ground. One more. And this time as you come up, it's cobra or upward facing dog. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Sighing the breath out. Inhaling, lengthen to your arms, your legs, your spine. Big breath out. Let's touch the knees down. And as we set up for camel, sometimes it's nice to have that extra padding beneath your knees so you can put a little fold into your mat. We'll find our way up into our high kneeling position. I'm gonna tuck my toes under. You can also press the tops of the feet down, up to you. And then just sticking your hands in your imaginary back pockets, work your inner elbows closer together. So feeling the support of your hands at your low back. Starting to lift from your sternum, your breastbone, up toward the sky. So we're going up and back, not just back. When we do these front body openers, there's a chance to really get this energetic boost and uplift. Don't just feel it in your body, feel it in your mind, and the lightness in your heart. Option to bring one hand to each heel, keeping that sensation of lifting from your chest. Very slowly, with the head being the last to lift, coming back upright. sinking to sit back onto your heels. If you've got that fold in your mat, you can even it out again. And let's take child's pose, at this time with the thighs closer together, diving the hands back along your side so that the palms face up, letting ourselves just find full rest over the thighs. Using the inhale to slowly transition back up to a seated position. Let's work a little more into the back body. So we'll extend the right leg long, bring the left heel in toward your pubic bone. And as you look down at this angle, let's have it be wider than 90 degrees. So the first way we work into this, we'll get a really nice side body stretch. So I want you to feel like your right shoulder is leaning toward your right knee, and your right hand can drop over to the left thigh. With your left arm, go up and over. So with your right hand, you can almost feel yourself encourage the left thigh to stay pinned down. So that becomes an anchor that you can reach out of through your left arm. Big yawning open for the left side. Breathe into the left side. And then following your left arm all the way up and back up, right? Nice work. Now, turning to face your straight leg. So now we'll bring the legs more to that 90-degree angle. And with the exhale, offering your heart more forward. I want you to think sit bones back. Don't worry how much space is between your upper body and your straight leg. And if it's better for you, you can even bring your hands behind you. I really want you to continue to think heart forward. Don't worry so much about the down. But if you're there and you can maintain that length in your spine and find more reach, you can grab a hold of your right foot. Send more breath into your low back. Find your sweet spot. We're going to stay there 5 breaths. Awesome, yogis. On this last one, let's inhale, heart more forward, everyone. And exhale, soften. Coming back upright. Nice job. Swap out the legs. The left leg is straight. Right knee bends. Opening up the angle a little bit more to start for that side body variation. Let's feel as if we're tucking the left shoulder toward the left knee. Your left hand can help gently press the right thigh down. Right arm goes up and over. So right palm faces toward your left foot. And as we press the right thigh down into the right, we're reaching up and over through the right arm. So those two opposing actions really help us find the space on the right side. Inhale, follow your right arm up and back to center. Let's close that angle just a little bit so we can face and square ourselves over the straight leg. Take a deep breath in and exhale, forward first. Let that be the priority before you just crank yourself down. I know it's tempting. Hands can stay right as they are, or maybe perching yourself behind the hips even. Or for some people, if it's working out for you, grab a hold of the foot, keep the spine long, lengthen over the left leg. Keeping the breath flowing, the whole back body. And that last one together. And the next time you inhale, looking toward your left toes, lengthening the heart forward, and exhale, just feeling ourselves soften. Coming back up to a tall seat. Let's bring ourselves onto our backs. Find a full body stretch. And then pulling the knees into your chest. Give yourself a good hug. Let's come back to the way that we started. So you'll plant your feet wide, feel them line up over the side-to-side edges of your mat. And then once again, let both knees drop over to the right. And as they do, you're gonna feel your left hip pick up a little bit. That's fine, arms can go wide. And then if you wanna add on to this, you'll pick up your right foot and cross it on top of the left knee. So it just gives a little bit more weight to drag the legs over to the right. Rest the back of your head. And switching, replace your right foot down to the right side edge of your mat. Turn both knees to drop over to the left. And then you stay right here. Or your left ankle rests on that outer strip of your right knee, giving more weight to drop over to the left. Release both shoulders into the mat. Release that cross. And once again, just let the knees flop side to side, bringing some movement back. Any remaining tightness around the low back of the hips, just imagine working through that, rinsing through that now. And let's come back to letting the knees rest against one another. And return to one hand to belly, one hand to heart, closing your eyes. Feel the travel of your breath between these two really powerful energy centers, the belly, the gut, and the heart. Let's release the shape into Shavasana, letting the legs lengthen, the arms lengthen. Breathing out, releasing all tightness. Breathing in lightness. You feel now that your energy is bright and clear, even though you are at rest. Every breath helping guide you toward your most vibrant self. On this next inhale, make it a little bigger, hold it at the top. Open mouth, exhale. And slowly bend the knees, roll to one side. And finding our way back up to seated position. Taking this time just to connect in. Hands meeting each other, and then thumbs connecting to your heart, chin toward your chest. Feeling the quality of your energy. That boost that helps you put more energy toward what you love, what brings you joy. Thank you as always, most sincerely for sharing your practice with me, for letting me share what I love with you. I would love to hear how you feel after this practice. Leave a comment, and I would love to connect in person at some point. So if you're interested in joining a retreat, I've got one in Mexico coming up, and there will be more. Check out my website for the details. It's yogawithvictoria.com, and I'll drop that in the notes. Have a beautiful rest of your day.